It is Max Lapierre. What's going on, Max?
Hey guys, what's up?
Not too much. Just recapping. Unfortunate for you, I guess. The game from Saturday. What was your read on it?
Well, I guess we need to get used to it, right? It's been tough lately. We don't like the fact like every channel on TV or on radio right now, like the guys, they seem like they're okay with it. Like they after the games, you hear Nick Suzuki, you hear Marty St. Louis, and it feels there's always an excuse or it's always fine. We played a good first period, but reality we had two shots on net. We're fine with the first period, and for me it's a lack of effort. I mean, we know we're playing a great team, you guys have a great team and all that, but that's not acceptable right now. And when I talked with you guys for the first game of the year, we had not high expectations, but we wanted to take a big step forward, and that's definitely not the case so far.
And what do you think Marty St. Louis needs to do to get that team on course? Obviously, they're taking the mentality of not get down and not be negative, but is there a level of accountability that you're not seeing?
Yeah, I think right now it's time to take a big decision, which is to sit one of your veteran or bench one of your veteran players. We've seen it all around the league, right, guys? Like Kucherov in Tampa Bay at one point was sitting for a period of time on the bench. You've seen McKinnon in Colorado fight with Bednard on the bench because they weren't happy with the way he was playing. At one point, you need to do it. Like I feel like everything always comes back to the rebuild, but that's not a rebuild because the reason you're rebuilding is you want to change the culture, which you're not doing right now. It's not about winning or losing, it's really about the attitude you have on the ice. And right now it doesn't matter who you bring next year. The next young guy in line is just gonna follow this leadership group, which doesn't show that it's painful to lose every night.
Not to make excuses. I mean, injuries are a big time concern without obviously a couple guys, including Patrick Laine. But yeah, I really felt like Montreal was missing that jam on Saturday night that we've seen in this tenure for MSL, right? Like it's every game you seem to know what you're going to expect effort wise. And it seemed like not that they've given up, but like there was not really a pushback at all by the Habs on Saturday night, I felt.
No, exactly. And like I wonder what Marty St. Louis, the player, would say to his teammate if he was playing for on that team right now. Because I know he's trying to be the coach's player. He's trying to be nice with the young guys coming in, but at the end of the day, if you look back 15 years ago, I think he would have came in the room and just lose it, right? Like it's for sure the way he was playing. This guy was a really hard worker, and I think for me he needs help from the management because you need to bring a veteran that is going to play that game and finish his hits and maybe fight once in a while or do something, because we're just going through the flow right now. If we're losing, perfect. We're winning, well, we're not going to make the playoffs anyway. Just they need to start building something like Boston has been doing for a lot of years now, which is next man up. He's going to work hard, he's going to play physical, he's going to play Boston Bruins hockey. We're not like what's our identity right now? We don't even know who we are as a team or who we're going to be in a few years, because there's nothing right now. It's pretty scary, guys, because we had a plan. We were happy with the way we drafted. Like we had Suzuki, we had Caulfield, we had Demidov in the KHL right now. Everybody's excited about it, but if you look at it, like who is he going to play next year? Like who is going to be on his line? Like when he comes, we don't even have a second line. We don't even have a first line right now, because except for Caulfield, nobody really works hard on the ice. Nobody skates. Nobody's confident. So for me, we took like a big step back, at least a year back. Like this is what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are familiar with that feeling. It's not a good place to be.
Yeah.
But for example, a team that is on the up and up and thinks they're ready now with the Toronto Maple Leafs, they inexplicably were so dry on offense, specifically on the power play, almost to the point they're beating their heads against the wall. Like it was gross watching it. And then their number one goal scorer, maybe in the league, gets taken out, and all of a sudden the floodgates open. Can you give us a reason why you feel that losing Austin Matthews was the answer for a while here?
But I think it has something to do with the coaching staff. Like his message right now is it's not about one guy. It's not about four superstar up front. It's about a team game you want to play. And I feel that was the perfect timing for them to finally show that this is going to be the new face of the team. This is how we're going to play. We're going to find a way to win without like I just said with the Boston Bruins, right? Next man up. Like who's gonna take his spot and find a way to score or find a way to make a big play. And watching the game, I don't know if you will agree with me, but I feel it's so good for Tavares' career. Like I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of Ryan O'Reilly in St. Louis, with the same coach. This is exactly the type of structure he needs to be really good on the ice. He plays well in a strict system defensively where you can't cheat, and like run and gun is not Tavares type of game, and I feel like he's going to help the team way more this year than he used to be.
Love that comparison, Max. I was going to ask you about one of your former teammates, the former captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Max Pacioretty, goes down. It doesn't sound like it's anything too serious week to week, but at the time, it looked really, really scary considering what he's been through the last couple of years. How weird is it for you to see Max Pacioretty in the blue and white, man?
That's always weird, but I mean that's hockey, right? We all know it's a business, and I'm actually happy for him. He went through a lot. He's a great player, works hard. I feel like if he can stay healthy, he's gonna help the team in a depth role. Like he's a guy that can finish his hits. He's a heavy guy. I mean, he's not known to be a physical guy, but you've seen one play in the first period. He gave a big hit, and it's a solid hit. He's got a good shot. I think if he can stay healthy, that would be good. But it seems like he's pretty banged up though. The last few years doesn't matter. Like always finds a way to get hurt, and I obviously feel bad for him.
I'll put you on the spot a little bit. Who's a player on this current Leafs team that you think could help the Montreal Canadiens out and get them out of that funk that you were talking about?
Everyone. Like obviously we need some, like I love that kid, Matthew Nice. I think
Yeah.
is exactly what you need in Montreal. You need a big type of forward that is young, will be part of a rebuild. He plays physical, plays hard. He shows up every night. Doesn't matter if he scores or doesn't score. I feel like this kid has the right intention. Like he always comes in with the right set of mind, and he's a good player. Obviously, I think my friend Revo would be good for our team. Just bring something to the table, like just this is the type of player when he loses, he looks mad, and that's what we need right now. Like right now, you look at every player on the Montreal Canadiens bench. Doesn't matter if you lose or win. It's always the same face. Like you don't even know if they're happy or they're not happy. There's just no emotion, and I think a guy like Revo would probably change that.
Max, got to ask you. We talked about this earlier on. What's your read on the whole David-Savard, Max Domi thing from over the weekend? This is a couple times this year where Max has wanted to go home and Savard wasn't interested.
Yeah, that's weird because probably the only guy that gets him mad because he's normally pretty calm. But I mean, I don't think he's known for fighting. He's known for, like, he's a great veteran. Shows up every night, block shot for the team. He does everything right. Uh, I mean, maybe that time was the time to go. But if that's not part of his toolbox, I mean, can push the guy to do it.
How about Arber Xhekaj on the back end there? Made a lot of noise earlier in his career. Is he? We thought we might see, him and Revo kind of come to blows there at some point in time, and maybe something would happen. It hasn't happened. What's your take on Arber Xhekaj this year?
That's really frustrating for me. I mean, they came in, like you said, had an impact right away, was surprising out of nowhere. And I feel that's the situation with Xhekaj explains exactly what's going on with the Canadiens here. They just put that guy with a character, with a personality back in his little bubble, like in his shell, like shelf. I mean, they don't want him to hit too much. They don't want him to fight too much. That like, don't take a penalty. Be careful. Like at one point, just let the guy play. Right now, there's a lack of passion. Just tell him, do what you used to do. Like just go and hit, do whatever you want, and we'll live with the mistakes. It's funny because he's a young D, and just treat him like one. Like I feel like he's not allowed to make a mistake, but you look at young guys, they come in the lineup, but if they have offensive stats, though, they're okay with the turnovers and they're okay that they're not blocking shots. I just feel like they're managing his career weirdly right now, and I'm a little worried that he's gonna end up with the Boston Bruins or the Philadelphia Flyers, and we're just gonna say, "Uh-oh, we had him, and he fits perfectly in that type of system over there." That I just hope they don't make that mistake at one point.
I think it'd be hilarious. A guy from nearby Hamilton dresses as a Toronto Maple Leaf one day. Arber Xhekaj would be really, really cool. But Max, thank you so much for spending some time with us today, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Make sure to check out more of our content right here on the Leafs Nation YouTube page. We got long-form interviews, we got clips, we got epic rants by Jay Rosehill. We simply have it all. And don't forget, you can find out much more at theleafsnation.com. Thanks so much for watching.